We rested at Alvin's home and traveled to Hundlestone to meet his parents in the morning. The Shothelms reminded me of Gan and Elsa, another hard-working blacksmithing family. With Grigel's adamantine, the Shothelms helped us craft new armor and a hammer. And then we shared a hot meal. Soon the last god deliverers travel north, and I think I will go with them. Follow us on Short Quest, Long Rest.
Unless you guys want to do anything else, dinner progresses comfortably. Afterwards, Grimilda enlists Alvin, and after a moment, motions for Felgrin to stand up and join her in helping to clean up.
He just kind of trudges along. Knows better than to argue.
Well, we don't have really any spare, but, well, we have the one spare. Alvin, you're sleeping on the floor. We have a spare.
I don't think that's necessary. I'm sure we can find lodging at the local tavern.
I mean, at this hour, they might still have vacancies. We don't get many visitors coming through.
That's what I'm hoping for, but...
but we could save you some money if you wanted to, lay out your bedrolls in here, but I could understand wanting a bed. You got, what was it? Yeah, about 50 miles between here and 10 towns. It'll take you a few days.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a nice bed. It's been a long time since we've slept in an actual bed. We've had our cots among the icebreaker and our trek through the snow, and staying in that cave and on the floor of Alvin's home. I haven't slept in a bed in weeks, so I say we try to head up to the inn. If anybody else wants to stay here, I completely understand.
I'll take a spot on the floor. Thank you.
There's a lad. How about the rest of you?
Floor's fine with me.
Right, so that's 1, 2. Tavini it was?
Yes. I do not have any gold, so could I sleep here?
Yes, of course. And you're small enough, you could, crawl into my bed, Falstaff. And he's like, I'm not sleeping on the floor.
The floor is not rubber.
Well, if you insist. And, a dreamer it was?
Yes.
Do you sleep?
Yes and no.
A cryptic answer for a mysterious man.
But I can sleep just about anywhere. So he'll walk over to the corner. He won't face the rest of the room, but he will just shut down.
He could at least mime it.
He stares in the corner.
So he's not standing there like a mannequin. He's gone, isn't it? He's shut down. Yes.
And he's
okay.
Asleep. Sorry, Grid.
I wish I could fall asleep that easy.
Well, tell me about it.
I can still hear you.
Oh my god.
It's a little unnerving.
It is incredibly... Thank you. It is.
Dreamer's gonna make sure to be looking at Felgrin.
He can see, and he's looking at me, and he does it on purpose.
But maybe if you stopped talking about it, he wouldn't do it.
I can't. Not talking is not something I'm good at.
His mouth runs more than his legs.
It's true.
I doubt that. I've seen him in a fight.
You didn't see me run in a fight because you were unconscious.
Hey, that's not true. You've run in all the fights. I've only been unconscious for one of them.
I have tactically repositioned in many fights. Yes.
I've only been unconscious once.
Oh goodness.
So the rest of you staying here tonight?
I think so.
Okay. Fine. Like I said, before we make the trek to 10 towns and spend the next couple of days on the road, I think I'm gonna get me a bed. So, like, me and Miri are gonna head out to the. Well, I guess I should ask you, Miri, you want to come with me, or do you want to stay here tonight?
As you ask that, looking over your shoulder, you do kind of notice that Miri is leaning out towards Grimelda, who is currently, like, just scratching her jawline.
Oh, that's cute.
Huh? What?
You want to spend the night here tonight?
Oh, do let her stay. I'd say a dragon would be good luck.
You know what? I can spend one more night on the floor. No worries. Okay, we're staying the night, Miri.
And she, sort of slithers off of your arm, crawls across the table, and crawls up onto Grimelda's shoulder, who immediately just starts spoiling her, feeding her more off her own plate than feeding herself.
Nice. Rian just smiles big and broad, because she reminds her so much of his mom, also, which I'm assuming that's Grin keeps saying it reminds him of somebody.
That's why he's staying.
So, yeah.
Little slice of home.
Right. Alvin, if you would be so kind as to get whatever blankets and sheets we have for these good folk. Luckily, the fireplace will keep things nice and warm in here overnight, so you don't worry about that so much.
Yeah, that's good to know.
And, Alvin sort of pushes his finished plate away and starts heading off deeper into the small house that they have, and comes back with just an armload of everything that he could find. He's got a couple of quilts, two much thinner bed sheets, one of them obviously torn, as if it has long been in disuse and just kind of kept around because it's at least spare material.
Tavini offers to take the torn one.
Oh, I mean, I don't imagine anyone else is going to jump at it here. Passes it down to you. Anything else you guys want to tackle before you head to bed and start your trek up to 10 towns tomorrow morning?
Not that I can think of. Anybody want to do any shopping while in town? Anything anybody want to get their hands on?
Felgren's gonna pick up, well, he's getting some jerky here, so I don't think he needs anything.
And I think I'm still good as far as rations go.
Tavini, she's going to sit in the corner near the fire. She's going to get kind of close to the fire and sit cross-legged with this tattered old blanket and start casting mending. So she's saying a prayer to the father of the forge to help her mend this ratty old blanket.
Alright. It takes a few minutes because it is in pretty bad shape. Alvin literally just went and tried to find everything that could possibly cover a person in the house. But gradually, aside from a few places where material has been lost, the blanket sort of reconstitutes, comes back to itself, almost new made. And by the end, you have a vaguely off-white sheet sitting in your lap in comparatively good repair, considering where it started.
She is pleased that she has done something to, help out just sweet.
Does anyone take Alvin's bed?
No.
I mean, someone can. I'm not going to. I felt bad. I keep feeling bad for that poor guy.
You understand now why he lives like several miles out of town in his own shack.
Yep.
Starting to think maybe we should have let him die.
Jesus. God damn.
No, I don't. I think.
God, you're fucked.
Yeah, no shit.
Sorry.
Oh no, that was hilarious. That was.
It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. That was awesome.
No,
Alvin.
if Felgren drank all his ale, he can have his own bed.
Yeah, there you go. That's fair.
Alright. So, the night passes peacefully. Early the next morning, you briefly hear thumping footsteps as Alvin leaves the house through the mudroom, trying to be quiet, not really succeeding. He's a big guy. This being before the sun is even up, he's already out. About an hour or two later, as dawn's light starts creeping into the kitchen, Grimelda similarly comes creeping in, and doesn't start cooking breakfast. Instead, she seems to be heading to a cold box, sort of off to one side, that you can see as she opens it is packed with sawdust and ice inside. It starts pulling out the remains of last night's dinner and setting the table for cold breakfast. Doing her best not to wake anyone, but as she starts building up the fire again and getting a kettle over the flames, the scent of coffee starts filling the room, very aromatic.
It's a nice smell.
The best part of waking up.
Is ye old Folgers in your
Yeah.
goblet?
In your goblet.
What are you guys doing on this morning?
I mean, as soon as he gets a whiff of the coffee, he is up
Yep.
and finding a mug.
Yeah, I think Rian's doing the same thing. Push-ups and like calisthenics and stuff, getting ready for the day. Like I think it's his normal morning routine, being a guard.
Looks exhausted.
It's very interesting because Miri is there beside you, almost trying to do the same.
Okay.
If you've ever seen a lizard on a hot floor, where they just kind of like, or a hot desert, where they just kind of lift themselves and then push back down,
Nice.
she's kind of doing that thing.
Yep. Oh, I think I probably taught her to do that. Like ever since like she was anytime we had time alone and stuff like that. Like I only know how to teach her the way I know. So I would have been like, morning exercises would be something that we both did together. So
Can't wait to see that when she's a great worm.
goddamn right. Do a jog in the morning around 10 towns.
God, feel like a show pony.
Oh,
Yeah.
Destroys a few chapels on accident.
Yep.
like, several centuries from now when she's gained her full growth as a adult dragon, some farmer is out in his field and he feels the ground rumbling underfoot, just coo, coo, coo. And he's just sitting there, sort of drinking whatever he has in the morning, like, oh, well, there's that dragon again.
Damn there dragon.
Tearing up my lawn every morning.
Every damn morning. Rian, why don't you got to keep that dragon on leasing off my property?
Well, we done had words about this.
Yeah, I came over not but a week ago, and we discussed this.
Grimilda fusses over Felgrin as you're sat at the table. Make sure that you have a mug, sets you up with a small plate of last night's leavings, as well as pushes a sack towards you that, kind of falls open as she does, and you could see inside a couple of individually wrapped, almost wax paper bundles tied with parchment. She goes, just as I said, dear.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gives you this broad grin. I sent my Alvin out this morning. He's fetching a few things for you. But, Falstaff should be... Falstaff! She calls into the house, and you hear distantly this very loud groan, and then these shambling footsteps as he comes into the kitchen, sort of rubbing his eyes. Right, I'm up. She, pretty much, grabs him by a shoulder and steers him into a chair to sit down. How about the rest of you? Sorry, we only have the one kitchen, and I didn't want to wake you up, but...
Well, if you need some help, I can help you cook breakfast.
Oh, I'm not cooking this morning, and she kind of motions towards the ice box. The cold, yeah. I already said stuff with sawdust and ice. I think, I made certain that we prepared enough that we could cover you this morning. That's why, otherwise I wouldn't be tossing so many onions at your boy Felgrin here. Oh, that and, a few other things, but you seem the type like you, I might as well take advantage of what I had at my disposal.
It's very shrewd of you, but I wouldn't expect any less of you, my dear.
Oh, you're sweet. Anyway, there should be enough rations there to cover the lot of you on your way up to 10 towns. About 2 days worth, 3 days.
Well, we greatly appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you guys have been nothing but hospitable to us, and again, we can't thank you enough.
Well, I mean, from what you said yesterday, you saved my boy's life. It's the least we could do.
Consider any debts paid.
Agreed.
And she gives you this very shrewd look with a bit of a smirk, and, oh yes, the debts are paid. Joins you at the table, and after about half an hour over breakfast, Alvin comes tramping back in, and you see slung over one shoulder what looks to be a, sort of a cloth-wrapped bundle that he sets down on the table beside Tavini.
Oh.
And kind of pushes it towards her.
Huh?
Mother sent me to, some of the other smithies here in town. It took me a few stops, but any motions for her to open it.
She'll, slowly open it, not sure.
Alright. As you're sort of almost peeling back and unraveling, it's really just kind of a cloth cover, not even a full sheet, just almost padding to protect the contents. And you find inside a breastplate sized for someone of a halfling persuasion. I was looking for something a little more substantial, but this was the most I could find in your size.
I am very thankful, but I am okay. I have my my armor.
She doesn't, she's struggling to put to words her gratitude, but her reluctance.
After a moment, Grimelda sort of interjects. Oh, no, you don't, dear. You do not deny a gift from this family. Thank you kindly.
You don't spit out hospitality.
Well, I would be insulted if you did not accept it. Wouldn't you like to keep me happy?
Yes. I am sorry. Thank you.
Oh, no offense taken, lass.
And she just kind of slides it closer and holds it
like a sweater at Christmas you didn't want. You're just like, thanks. It's
No,
great.
I think she's not used to getting gifts.
I assumed it was because she made that armor herself, her chainmail. But
If you'd like, we can take that chainmail off your hands. I mean, I've been meaning to get back into forge work myself, so that would be excellent place to start.
No, it is alright. Thank you. I will hold on to my chainmail if that is okay.
Oh, perfectly alright. Anyway, Falstaff, it's your day indoors. And she just gives him a big shit-eating grin, claps him on the shoulder, and heads out to the forge.
nice. I like her even more now.
She'll, Tavini will put the breastplate on just to not be rude about it.
Just smile with it. Yeah.
There's a genuine sort of gratitude for the giving it to her.
Of course, yeah. Wouldn't expect anything less.
Yep.
So, she's a tough one.
Falstaff, who watched his wife, head out into the mudroom and then out the front door, doing that thing, kind of leaning over, watching her, looks back at that, huh?
Nothing important.
Right. And he gets up and starts clearing the table, and reaching into a cupboard in one corner of the kitchen here, takes out a broom and heads deeper into the house, and you could hear distantly the sounds of sweeping.
What of Krellick's armor? Or the armor that you two made yesterday?
Alvin sort of slaps himself on the forehead. Right! That is locked up outside. We have a shed where we keep our finished product. Obviously we don't have space in here for fancy interior or a counter, but folks still respect our work. Anyway, let's go take care of that, huh?
Alright.
Hey, grab that armor and say our goodbyes and be on the road.
He escorts you outside, and again, the morning is full of the ringing of different forge masters at their work, including a Grimilda who is outside in a leather apron, currently stoking the forge with a big bellows that those arms of hers are just really working to get started. And she looks up from her efforts and kind of gives you all a very broad grin. My Falstaff is the armor of the pair of us, but no one makes a blade like yours truly.
You just impress more and more, milady.
Oh, woman of many hats.
Aye.
Got to be out here.
Renaissance woman.
What's the Renaissance?
Yeah, exactly. No Renaissance. Damn it.
Shotguns and Renaissance.
Yeah, Shotguns and Renaissance. Episode name.
Distant
awesome.
memories from your father's time in Eberron.
Yeah, exactly.
Alvin leads you to a shack off to one side, and as he had promised, unlocks it, throws open the doors, and one wall of this about 15 by 10 space, it's a very large shed, is lined with different suits of armor, kind of hung up on hooks. The other half, wall mounts of different weaponry. Right, if there's anything that we could supply you before you take off this morning.
He'll just hold up a hand, shake his head. But thank you.
Yeah.
You have been most gracious hosts. Thank you.
Yeah, I think Rian will look over it, like all the stuff real fast, and then just be like, no. It's like, this is all fine work, but I think I'm set with what I got. And I couldn't take any more from you guys already, so we greatly appreciate your hospitality.
I can at least walk you to the 10 trail, and then I have some shopping to do this morning before I head south again.
Right.
And you hear sort of over her shoulder, "Oh, no you don't, dear, you're staying a few days." Correction.
Yep, that's the same.
Can I come? Well, no. He kind of gives his mom this very surreptitious look. No, I don't want to risk that.
Smart.
Is Miri in the pack again?
Nope. Oh, she's up on my shoulder.
Alright. And unless there's anything else you want to do around the Short Helm home, Alvin starts leading you to the north end of town and the beginning of the 10 trail.
On the road again.
Yep. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Even though the plan was for Tavini to stay here and apprentice with Shorthelm, but Tavini's already packed her stuff, and she approaches the group just before everyone's about to leave.
Excuse, hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah?
Yes.
Could, I know I'm meant to be a apprentice here, but could I come with you to 10 Downs?
Well,
Why not?
I was going to say if that's where your feet are taking you, you're welcome to keep with us. You've been a delight to have around. You're like the exact opposite of Grin, humble and nice.
Hmm.
And then I think you just kind of give a big smirk and kind of give a little head nod to Grin.
You have all been kind to me. And I think it is time I go see 10 Towns again.
You're more than welcome to accompany us if that's where you want to head. We're going that way, so the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned.
She looks to the short halts for permission to do so, quietly questioning.
And Grimilda has been sort of following the conversation as she gets herself situated this morning. And on hearing your wishes, pauses in her work and kind of dusts off her hands to come join the circle of conversation happening in front of their business. Right, dear. I mean, we certainly have the space for you to stay, and if you desire to continue your apprenticeship, there are any number of forge masters here that we can share you around with around town. But if your heart's calling you back to the north, I won't be the one to keep you.
I feel like I need to bring some of this warmth to the north.
From what I've heard of things going on up there, and you don't have to put any stock by it if you don't. It seems to me that folk up there need a bit of warmth. It's very kind of you.
Aye, it is.
Right, well, you keep yourself safe. Remember, it's 4 days to 10 towns from here, so if you run into trouble, you're welcome back here, but remember that I don't have space for all of you forever.
Noted.
I'd keep you if I could.
I wouldn't dare take advantage of your hospitality again, but we appreciate everything you've done for us.
Could I hug you?
Oh.
And she kind of reaches over, grasps you around the shoulders, and pulls you into a hug.
Yeah, that is too sweet.
Davini hugs her.
Oh, you are just so precious. Are you sure I can't keep you?
I will come back.
Right, the rest of you, come here. Rian, come here.
Yeah, he comes over to give her a big hug.
Kind of has to,
Yeah.
I imagine, rope Felgrin in by the elbow and draw him in.
Yeah.
He'll
Let Miri get in on that hug too.
kneel down for it.
She, looks Krellick over and then just kind of gives him a respectful nod. One blacksmith to another.
Well, that was all saccharine and sweet.
Oh, don't mention it. Just, be good to one another. And, Dreamer, you could be mysterious. She gives this little grin and goes back to her work.
Her.
Wishful thinking.
Nice. Say goodbye, Mary.
Goodbye, Miri.
Ha!
Davini's
I
just
think-
standing there going,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Rian just kind of shakes his head like,
No.
This is...
That was funny.
And then, we head on out.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, we found the party mom.
Yeah, no shit. Like, honestly, that's like it's hard to leave. Like, it's just like, can we just rewrite the adventure
Yeah,
of
just
it being
just
hanging
let
out here?
just let what's happening up there happen. We'll hang out here
There's some other adventures that'll take care
with
of it. It's what always happens.
dwarf mom.
Exactly. We'll hang out with Dwarf Mom. And we can do things to protect Hundlestone. That'll be our
The heroes
entire
of
adventure.
Hundlestone.
There you go, the heroes of Hundlestone. I love it.
There you go. Following your adventure in, I mean, it's up to you. Do you guys want to stay?
No, we can. She's like, I'll rewrite the whole damn thing. It's fine. I point around the group. Railroad the adventure. Railroad the adventure. Railroad the adventure.
Alrighty. So, on to your third delivery in Bryn Shander. As you take to the road, heading north, hours pass. You have the mountains rising distantly ahead of you, drawing ever nearer and more distinctive the further you travel. To your left, open plains, rolling hills, all of them covered in snow and thickly forested. And gradually, the terrain around you on either side of the road gets higher and higher, and even the road itself starts to slope upwards. It is slow going. Even though you are following the 10 trail, the ever-increasing slope, the sort of winding path ahead of you as the, establishers of this trail had done their best to kind of go with the terrain to make things easier, slows you down to what can best be described as a crawl. Throughout the day, you probably make about 8 miles, before night starts to fall. As the sky darkens and you guys set up a camp or march through until full dark?
Nah, if we got this much time, I don't see us trying to force our way through, especially if we don't know, there's not any storms on the horizon.
If there's no pressing need, I don't think, I think it would be worth the risk.
Alrighty. So, you set up a camp off to one side of the road, finding a nice clearing, a small cusp of trees that you're able to find some broken deadfalls to build up a fire with. I will ask, for your first night back on the road, what is the order of watch, if you have one at all?
Yeah, I guess Felgren can take first watch.
Okey-dokey.
I guess Kralik will go second.
I can take the third watch until... And of course, we're going to have good old Dreamer do his little sentry thing the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we'll be relying on his passive perception
I
throughout.
can take the fourth watch, because that's hours 6 and 7 out of my 8, so I'll be awake.
Gotcha. So, can I get that first perception check? Perception?
Get in the perception. Felgren. Give me your perception.
Let's see if I go better than a 2. All right.
Way
17.
better than 2. 17.
17.
All right.
So, here in the foothills of the spine of the world, a few miles north of Hundlestone, it is dead quiet. It's almost eerie, just how quiet it is in these foothills. And even though they only rise a few 100 feet on either side of you, you get a sense of the immense scale of those looming mountains. Makes you feel incredibly small. And huddled over your fire, throwing out a bit of light in this otherwise vast space of white and stone, the night passes slowly, but safely. And after 2 hours, you find time to nudge the next watchman awake.
Yeah, I think he wouldn't want to leave the fire, so he would do it via mage hand.
Oh, that's just
kinda
gonna creep him out.
Tap him on the forehead.
What? He's gonna look around and not see anyone. Like, what the? What's going
Well,
on?
it is a very visible spectral hand.
Oh well.
It is very weird, Kralik, to wake up from whatever you might have been dreaming to a disembodied hand prodding you in the forehead.
Alright.
I think he would just kind of fall over on his side in the fetal position, curled up in his cloak. So he is cold.
If you want to give me that perception check. 12, alright. Following the trend of the night proceeding quietly, nothing disturbs you. You do very briefly hear the faint crunch of snow, and looking out into the darkness, at the very edges of your dark vision, you see a small furred shape, probably about the size of a boot, with long ears loping along the ground, and as soon as it seems to notice that it's been spotted, it freezes for a moment and then goes bounding off further into the darkness, a snow hare out for a late night stroll, presumably. After a few minutes, you hear the pained shriek of a rabbit, and a few minutes more, silhouetted against the moon, see a white winged shape flying higher into the foothills.
Ooh.
Otherwise, nothing happens on your watch. If you want to wake up the next person, however you do that.
Well, he always kind of does it with a nudge from the boot.
Nice. He gives me a little kick.
Hey.
Alright. I'm up.
Alright.
Okay. Okay. I think he wakes up. He does some stretching. And... yep, I think he takes Miri out just a little ways away from the fire. I think he does some training with her again. But this time, learning how to avoid attacks and stuff like that. He doesn't use his sword. I think he kind of like wrestles with her a little bit and kind of comes at her and tries to get her to avoid him, you know, getting in close and stuff like that, keeping her distance.
All right. Why don't you roll an athletics check for me?
Sure thing. Nice.
Suplex your dragon.
Yep. Grab her. Just fucking over the back suplex.
You know, it comes with being larger than her, more familiar with combat. That 22 of yours, in spite of the very careful instruction you give this very groggy little dragon, she is not quick enough to avoid your grapple. And in short order, you have her almost like tucked under one arm, her wings pinned to her sides, and she is struggling and at one point hisses at you. Not angrily, just more of an annoyed sound.
Nice. I think I give her like a little boop on the nose and then give her a little kiss like on the forehead and then let her go and kind of toss her again, just kind of like you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for it. You never know when they're coming. It's like even in the mid-dead at night, you can wake up and have to fight. You just never know what's gonna happen, so I just want you to be ready.
As you say that, she kind of cranes her neck and looks suspiciously around at your surroundings.
Atta girl.
If you want to give me a perception check.
Oof.
So a 5 and a 14 for Miri. Everything's quiet. Nothing comes racing out of the darkness at you. And you're able to continue your lesson in relative peace. Though at one point, Miri does go scampering away from you, and Tavini, you feel a spray of cold on your cheek as she skids to a stop, almost tumbling on top of you and sending a bit of snow into your sleeping face.
Like, oh, Mary, oh, damn it.
There's just a... as, she just, like, rolls.
Sorry. What?
She blinks awake.
What?
Miri is kind of hovering at eye level with you, and she, seeing you awake and sleepy, extends out a claw and boops you on the nose.
I taught her boops.
Oh no.
Back to sleep.
Mary, leave her alone. She's still trying to sleep.
Tavini will just like reach out slowly, see if Miri is okay with her reaching out.
Yeah, she doesn't shy away from your hand.
And then she'll just like stroke Mary's cheek and under her chin a little bit and then lay back down to go back to sleep.
Very briefly, she arches against your hand like a cat being pet, and then goes scampering back to Rian when she sees you rolling back over to go to sleep. But, our boy Dreamer, if you want to give me that last perception check.
I figured out how to do the global +1 from having the Lux Stone.
Ooh.
11.
Nicely done.
Tain't bad. Especially with
Your
a
watch
6+
goes, again, uneventfully. At one point, a white-winged shape, which you, being a druid who has spent time in the north, recognize as a snow owl, goes winging overhead. Scanning the ground, you see its bright eyes sort of pass over the party, and it disappears into the darkness and the woods. Gradually, dawn comes. You feel the world warming up a little. And, are you guys doing anything before you head back out on the road?
Just my normal morning routine.
Checking the weather.
Ooh, attaboy.
And Goodberry.
Always Goodberry.
Alright.
Welcome to Goodberry, home of the Goodberry.
Self-beautification.
I'm just always gonna sit with the one spell slot down. Assume Goodberry from now on.
They do last for 24 hours, so if you want to be using it before you go to sleep, I say in quotations,
That is the smart.
you would every morning have your spell slot back.
But then I'd have to make sure I end the night with a spell slot.
Oh, yeah.
all night, Dreamer is just like in sleep mode with his hand cupped around a couple of berries.
Please don't freeze. Please don't
And when he
freeze.
boots up in the morning, he just extends his arm out to the first person he sees.
Such an odd fellow.
Alright. You produce a few berries for folks to have their breakfast with, or otherwise to preserve them in the event that you need them later on in the day. And in the case of Druidcraft, holding out your extended hand and drawing on, the inherent magic of natural forces around you in the world, your palm remains clear. There's a bit of frosting over, an indication that, maybe there might be a bit of cloud cover or, a bit of a snowfall later, but really nothing alarming. Nothing like the earlier indication a few days prior of a whiteout. So, good weather. Well, as good of weather as you get in the north.
Hey, it's gonna be a good day. Good berries, good weather,
Good burgers.
good burgers.
Good fellas.
Good fellas, goodbye.
Alright.
And I have a question for Tavini.
Hmm?
Are you any good with working wood?
I have worked some, but it is normally for things like handle, shield, that type of thing.
He will open up his coat and just sort of showing off his armor and points to like his met iron chest piece that's rusting out.
Oh, does
And she looks at his like face, and then back to his chest plate.
that hurt you, or
No, but I would like it to go. I would like to replace it with wood, and perhaps better protect my sides, which his covering for armor is like bare bones.
She will look over to Krellick.
I believe worked with metal.
I could try. It would take me some time, but Krellick and I, maybe together we could make something.
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
It's not urgent, it is just a thought I had when Krellick was getting his armor made. How is the armor, Krellick? Did you put it on?
Yeah, he definitely swapped it out as soon as he could. Hey, Tavini here does a good job.
Hey, it looks magnificent.
It was a team effort. Yes.
Well, either way, I have to say it's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it's on you.
Hey, isn't that? He's completely
Says arms
oblivious.
out. Yeah, looking down.
It's got kind of, those dwarven symbols.
Yeah,
It's
like
got
runes.
it's got dwarven runes, a prayer to the Forge Father, and it's got if Krellick was okay with it, she would have tried to incorporate Morden's symbol
Yeah.
into the shoulder
Get
pieces.
those.
He'd be fine with that.
Then yeah, she would have incorporated that into it as well.
It is very good armor. Yes. Good metal. But you need wood. Is that
Yes.
what you ask? Wood.
Yes.
Plenty of wood around us.
There's a lot
Anybody bring an axe?
more wood than there is of that stuff.
Aye.
I do not have the right tools to shape the wood, but I can design something while we travel, and then we could try to pick up the tools in Brinchander.
That sounds fun.
Yes, I know just the place in Brinchander too.
Well then, it's solved. We'll give it a shot when we can.
Yes, I will need your measurements.
36, 24, 36.
Let's do that when we make camp.
Aye. Mary, saddle up.
But she kind of looks around.
Tavini like saddles over to Miri and tilts her head.
What's a saddle?
Like, oh, it's well, I was using it as an expression, but saddle's like it's an apparatus you'd put on like a horse to ride it.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she nods and under. I didn't know the word for it.
Hey, when they say saddle up, it essentially just means like hop on up. We're gonna head out.
Time to go.
Yep.
All right. And this morning, instead of crawling onto your shoulder, Miri is almost like the rabbit that you saw last night, Krellick, sort of bounding along, just off the side of the road. Every time she leaps, leaving a indent in the snow where she lands.
Like a puppy in the snow.
Yeah.
I love it.
You travel for a few hours like that, and just about midday, you come across a small stream, that the road sort of travels alongside, absolutely frozen. And upon the trail here, find a smashed cart at the side of the road. There are 2 tracks in the snow leading away from the cart into a grove of snow-covered fir trees.
Do they look like people tracks, or?
I would say roll me a survival check.
And how long ago does it look like this happened?
Oh, nice.
Roll me an investigation check.
Natural 20.
Nice, natty 20.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
Slapped it.
So, Krellick, you were able to determine, looking at these tracks, and it does seem that, whatever light dusting of snow might have fallen overnight has filled them in somewhat, and it's hard to really say. But with a 20, you can determine them to be a set of hoof prints traveling alongside a set of boot prints, almost as somebody is leading a horse into the small grove of fir trees that you see off to one side. As for that investigation check, it's really hard to judge as you were, searching the cart, looking it over, just how long it might have been here. It does seem that, the wood does have a light dusting of frost, and there is a layer of snow over everything. There isn't really anything of value inside other than a week's worth of trail rations, if you want to add that to your inventory.
How many days ago did the whiteout happen?
Would have been roughly 3 days ago now.
I'd say 3, I think.
2.5, 3.
So, it could have happened an hour ago? Or it could have happened up to 2? Just before that whiteout? Or just after?
Considering how much snow fell during the whiteout, this probably occurred after that.
I mean, the tracks are still visible.
Struggle? Any signs of a struggle?
Why don't you roll me an investigation check?
Can do. Bam!
Natural 20.
Nice.
Natural 20,
Rolling
alright.
Killing it.
So, no signs of a struggle. However, as you are looking through the cart, pushing things aside, getting a better idea for what might lie under the snow, you do find a damp and tattered letter that, as you peel it open, the ink seems to have smudged a little, but you're able to make out the message, "To be delivered. 100 gold pieces for money changers in Bryn Shander."
I think he'd hand it to, I guess, whoever's closest.
Tavini, you still by the cart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would offer it. What do you?
Yeah, it appears to be, almost as if it had fallen out of the wagon, a little bit under it, which is why you missed it when you were searching yourself, Tavini. But yeah, it seems that though there's no sign of it now, this cart was intended to bring gold north.
What do you make of that?
Gold pieces or gold bars?
Hard to say. Just says gold. I imagine pieces. Though I'm not sure why you would need a
Possibly.
cart.
Faster travel over the roads, perhaps.
Maybe.
Just not lugging it, maybe. But But
Either way, I would classify this as not our problem.
Aye, but it also means there's gold somewhere wandering around these hills.
Fair point.
would you say there's gold in them there hills?
That's what I just said.
I think if you had levels, you should lose one.
This ain't older editions. Screw that shit.
They were better back then.
Don't lie to me.
That is fantastic.
I miss Thaco. I
I'm
don't.
like, well, you're right, this isn't our problem, but if there are bandits in the area and they're laying way to things, they could be a problem for us too, so I kind of want to try to check out those tracks just a little bit, just to see where they go in that copse of trees. I'm not saying we follow it to wherever it goes, but just a little bit ahead, just to see where they...
What does the letter say?
They were transporting gold. Bryn Shander.
Looking back over the letter, in its smudged writing, it says, "To be delivered. 100 gold pieces for money changers in Bryn Shander."
My apologies. How is the cart situated right now?
It's turned over on its side. It is smashed, by all appearances, so not salvageable. Probably large enough to carry 4 people, unless it's filled with cargo.
Is there anything in the snow, or like digging through the snow, is there anything that would cause it to turn over like this?
From Tavini and Felgren's investigation, they didn't find anything. I would say, if you're specifically looking for how this thing might have been smashed, roll me investigation.
Okay. 14.
Not bad.
14. It's hard to say. Certainly something very large and heavy smashed up into this, but whether that was some large creature or a weapon like a warhammer, it's impossible to judge. This could be an attack from some beast as much as it could be an attack by some bandits.
But there's two sets of tracks leading away.
Yeah.
Yes.
One humanoid, one horse. Or one humanoid, one centaur.
Oh my god!
Dun dun dun!
100 gold is a lot of money.
So,
Yeah.
This person probably just smashed up their own cart to take the money for themselves.
I didn't think you could think like that. Dreamer. It's pretty clever. Wants the money, smashes up the cart, makes it look like an accident. Clever.
Crazier things have happened, but again,
I'm here.
we're
I
gonna...
say we at least go take a peek. Come on.
Kurlik, if you want to accompany me real fast, I just want to take a look in those copse of trees
I'm
there.
curious, I'll go too.
So, about a half mile off the road into the grove of trees, following these tracks, at one point, it seems as though the humanoid tracks disappear. There is a bit of confusion in the snow, and it is comparatively easy to determine that this person probably swung themselves up into the saddle and continued to travel. At the end of your half-mile trek following these tracks, you come across a grisly scene. The carcasses of a half-elven man and a horse are both lying frozen and half-covered in the snow, plainly having been eaten by scavengers. You find wolf prints lying around, and clutched to this man's chest is an iron lockbox.
Vilgrin
If
will
he-
walk forward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if he moves, hit him.
Hopefully this one doesn't move. Well, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think with seeing the wolf tracks all around and the attack, we're gonna let Grin go for the box, but he's got his eyes up all around, like just
Yep.
scanning the forest.
Knowing what-
like, as we discussed, Mary,
Shield out.
keep your eyes up.
Knowing what happened last time he touched a dead body, he's gonna use Mage Hand to remove it.
Nice.
Stand
Alright.
a good 15 feet away.
So Miri goes scrambling up a nearby tree, climbing easily amidst the pine boughs to sort of take a watch position above.
How's it go?
I'd like you to roll me a perception check, Rian, first.
Come on, baby. Oh yeah, natty 20. Oh, my
my
god.
God.
What is happening tonight?
Rolling rocks.
22.
The surrounding woods are quiet. You hear distantly bird song, see briefly flitting through the trees the bright red plumage of a cardinal, but otherwise things are safe. As for Felgrin, reaching out with Mage Hand, are you going for the box, or are you trying to pry the man's arms up?
The box.
The box? Alright. The box does have small handles, and Mage Hand very easily grasps onto one of them. But as it pulls, you can very much tell that this box is far too heavy for Mage Hand.
That is problem.
Yeah, I guess. He just kind of, with a flourish, dismisses Mage Hand and approaches himself.
Yeah, how much can Mage Hand carry?
Not a whole lot.
It's like 10 pounds.
About 5
yeah.
pound.
Oh,
I
okay.
think, I think it's 10, but I'm not certain.
It should be in your spelly there. If you just click on it, it should tell
10
you the
pounds,
whole
yes.
10 pounds, okay.
Yeah, he would approach himself.
Tavini will follow after him.
I think Reen will give him the all clear. And like, he kind of puts his head down for a second and like listens and kind of then scans. And then he's like, "We seem to be clear. There's nothing around us, so. But I don't want to stay here too
I'm
long.
worried about him waking up.
I'm not so worried about that."
As you go to stand over the body, he is about a middle-aged half-elven man. You could see the lines of his face, especially around the eyes. A bit of like medium brown hair in a shaggy cut. Not dressed particularly well, but not, impoverished either. You do notice, and if you will recall, those of you who first joined as the Leskar Deliverers were given cords to wear on your shoulders that kind of identified you as members of the guild, and this man lying in the snow is wearing the same sort of knot on his shoulder.
Oof.
Well,
So he was one of us.
seems like he's kneeling down at this point.
Then it is your job to deliver this,
Yes, deliver it.
I guess that would be our job. Yeah, I guess it falls to us. Oh boy. Okay, well.
He'll try to remove it.
Alright, as you reach out to try and... Are you going for the box, or are you going for him?
Tavini's going to very gently try and move his arm.
Roll me a
Gotta
strength
break
check.
his arm off.
Please don't break his arm.
You want me to roll a strength check?
No, right now I want to...
God.
Well, actually, no, both of you roll me a strength check.
Like that. You want me to roll a strength check.
2!
Ooh!
A 7 and a 2. Alright. So, Felgrin, you're finding that, much like Mage Hand, this box is just... It is stuck tight in this man's frozen grip. And Tavini, you find that the arms that he is, like, holding this box to his chest with, he has been lying here in the snow at least long enough to have frozen
Having
solid.
some issues over there?
Need your girth, please.
His girth. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, he's smiling at his own words.
Yeah.
Supposed to
He
be a
knows
family
exactly what he
podcast.
said, the shithead.
Krellick will walk over.
I don't think we ever said
Talk
that.
about your tummy and something else.
Wow.
I said it.
Alright.
It's too late now.
Yep. Great. Now I gotta edit.
Krellick. you get called over, and if you would be so kind as to give me a strength check.
Nice.
18.
Yep.
All right. So it takes a bit of prying. You are gradually able to break this poor lad's arm
Yeah.
Sorry.
in order to get at the lockbox underneath.
He's
Aye,
dead,
aye.
Krellick. You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, he like sucks it. Like,
Oh,
Ooh,
that was a sound and a half. Whoa.
yeah. No, Krellick, keep going. I mean, we
I'm
gotta
used
get
to
it
it.
delivered, and it's not doing him any good out here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like he really needs that
Just
arm
gonna
anymore.
lift it up the rest of the way.
Yeah, no, it comes free easily, and this iron lockbox, it is pretty hefty, and as you lift it, you can hear the shifting of coins inside.
It's a good sound.
Okay.
The lock itself is flush with the box. It's not like there's a padlock on there. It is built into the box.
I imagine he has a key on him, maybe?
Roll me an investigation.
Rifling through dead guy pockets. My favorite.
We're like, yeah, good thinking, Grin. Look for some type of identification so we can tell his family.
10. Searching through his clothes, his pockets, you find 3 coppers, a lot of lint, and no key.
Well, if he had a key, it's not here anymore. Maybe the people he's delivering it to have the key?
There is a torn pack lying half buried in the snow beside him that you also check through, and there's some gnawed-on rations. Seems that whatever, sort of feasted on him also had their fill of his trail rations.
Well, the lock's probably frozen right now anyway, so I think Krellick's gonna try to sling it on his shoulder so he can carry it.
I will say, if you are interested in searching around for a key, if anyone who wants to do that could roll me perception.
I think I'm gonna roll perception, but I'm more trying to figure out if I can find any distinguishing to try to figure out who this guy is, so that
Okay.
we can let whoever know. 10.
Anyone else getting involved?
Krellick's got the box.
Tavini's putting the guy's arm back into place gently. And then she's
casting
going to say a prayer to send off his soul, blessing him by the heat of the forge, and praying that he has a warm hearth to sit by in his afterlife, wherever he is.
So, you, as gently as you can, replace the arm, and it is very strange to see that his arms, now that they no longer have the lockbox within them, are still in that sort of holding position, that cradling position. Rian, you do not find any identification on him. This is not a time period or a setting in which people would carry identification papers on them, and unfortunately, if anyone would know him, it would be another member of the Deliverers.
So all we have to do is find out who is carrying this.
Yeah, that's a smart move. So, like, well, we'll have to ask after a poor middle-aged half-elf that was on his way to deliver to up to 10 towns. So,
I'm guessing no key was found.
No key was found.
Why is it that on this journey we've only gained more things to deliver?
it's actually a great point. We do seem to keep picking up new things.
At this rate, it'll never end. We'll be delivering packages for all eternity.
Is that not your...
No, it was his job. He points to the corpse. Well, come on, wake up. Package
Got me
to
with that
deliver.
one.
Nope.
There's no
No
response.
response.
Oh, looks like it's on us then. Krellick, you got that?
Aye, but let's start moving. It's getting heavy.
I don't want coming and whatever ate these poor souls.
Just
I don't
saying,
want it coming back while we're
it would
here.
be a lot easier if we just ditched the letter, got a crowbar, and opened it. A little payday.
Okay, well, you start looking for a crowbar, and we'll start walking back towards 10
In
towns.
the next
and,
town, smartass.
I'm sure there'll be a reward.
Aye, there'll definitely be a reward for it. You don't even know if it's all in there. The question is, why did he break from the cart and run off this way instead of continuing on to 10 towns?
Well, I think the cart was broken. I think he was attacked by some sort of, I don't know, creatures, wolves, maybe. But that doesn't really explain why it looked like he walked the horse.
That's what's getting me. He walked the horse away, then rode the horse. You think it'd be the opposite if he was trying to get away.
Or maybe the cart broke
taken it till it was
on
tired.
its own. He walked the horse this way, and then was attacked.
It just doesn't seem to make sense to just leave the road for. I don't know. We obviously don't have all the information.
It
so
might have been
in the
night.
meantime,
Maybe he was looking for a place to camp.
that is a possibility. Thought maybe the tree line might be a good place to set up for the night. Get out of some of the snow. But either way, we don't have those answers now, and we've investigated the area, so best we can do is continue on and let whoever know what happened when we reach the next town.
Alright.
The world may never know.
So, for the sake of moving your travel time along a little, the rest of the day passes uneventfully, as does the night. The following day, as you are now deeper in the mountains, it's strange. You're not yet completely through the spine of the world and into Icewind Dale, but the sun doesn't completely rise. There's almost a lingering twilight in the air as you get into the mountain passes that rise on either side along the 10 trail. And it is certainly unnerving to consider that 2 days prior, you'd had a wonderfully sunny day leaving Hundlestone, and now, hours later, expecting the sun to rise, don't see it. Still colors the sky. Still a bit of light, but certainly drawing closer to those rumors that day does not come to the Dale anymore.
What season is it?
It has, in the Dale, been winter for a couple years now, by your experience. Outside of it, probably late fall. So, places like Hundlestone and Fireshear are experiencing worsening weather as winter draws nearer.
Interesting.
Always winter, always night. Fun place.
And I'm not really stoked about moving the rest of the way through the night. But I guess we don't have much choice if it truly is perpetual night here near 10 towns and in the Dale.
Makes sense. It's not natural.
You're absolutely right about that, but
It was not always this way.
That's what's concerning. Whatever this is, happened to it.
I don't claim to be an expert about the Dale,
Me neither.
but I've only been in 10 towns a couple times in my life, but either way, I say we push on until we feel tired, because obviously we're not going to have the sun to let us know when it's nighttime.
Alright. As you proceed on your third day of travel, passes uneventfully, even in this very strange perpetual twilight. Nothing waylays you on the road, and it is as the sky starts to go from dim to still darker, nightfall, further elsewhere in the world. Dreamer, the time to make camp is fast approaching, when your peaceful day of travel is interrupted by a whistle of wind and a bestial roar.
Oh no.
A javelin whistles through the air past your head, and a massive saber-toothed tiger from the opposite side of the road from where the javelin came from comes bounding from behind some rocks into your midst.